I thought I'd just add a bit to this every day. I couldn't find some tape, so I put a plaster at the bottom of that to keep it kind of half upright, so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to find some flowers in this group to study each day, I think. Just to do something in the morning, you know. Daffodil up a lot higher. Maybe this little purple one I can do. I think it's called a periwinkle. I'm kind of half inclined to include that pink. I've just put in that pink flower. It was falling out of another bouquet. So I'll just draw it with this kind of crimson coloured crayon and see what will happen after that. Then I might just use it as a way into the periwinkle. I think the periwinkle, that's a new flower that's just opened overnight, because the one that was open when I picked it has died. It kind of flopped down fairly quickly. There's lots of beautiful white ones. This is a variegated leaf, and I think it means that it might not last as long as the others. So there's wild white ones on the ditch up towards the neighbour's house, and my mum has some in the farm as well, so I might pick some of them. There's loads and loads of them all over the ditches here. To draw another day maybe. But we're heading away for a couple of nights to a lovely hotel, kind of a healthy kind of hotel. But I think there's wine there, so it's not that healthy. In Enniscorthy for a few nights. And we're going, when are we going? Monday morning. And so I've got today's Saturday, yeah, and tomorrow here. And then on Monday morning we'll head away for 2 nights. But I'm taking my watercolours, and I'm going to see if I can get all of my 3 sisters and my mum painting as well, maybe. I might take this little vase with me. We'll see now. It won't be a kind of a splashing around the place type of painting, I'd say, because the surroundings sound like they're very plush. But we might be able to find somewhere that we could sit and do a little watercolour. We'll see. I think they're kind of keen on, like, they take the Wi-Fi, they turn the Wi-Fi off or something. I don't know. So I'd say there'll be opportunities where people can't access their phones to have creative time instead, you know. That's what I'm hoping. It'll be a nice change from always having access to something. Now, the fact that I'm doing these flowers and not in relationship to each other, I feel like, as in not in the same position that they're in real life. I feel like it's quite good too that when I'm choosing different media to draw them, because they're already, you know, it kind of helps us to know that they're on a different plane or something, I think. My sister's going to come down with her 3 youngsters, my 3 lovely nieces, later this morning, hopefully, or at some point today, and we're going to do some artwork upstairs. I've got a little apartment upstairs here. Don't know if you can hear me at all, or if you can even see what I'm doing here. I know that it's not a great setup. It's kind of the best I can do without my holder. It's this flower that I'm drawing just now. Okay. It's quite dark pink on that side. Oh, actually, no, it's dark on this side. I was thinking I'd still go for a run, even although it's a very wet morning. There's something kind of nice about running in the rain, I think. And also the sea is wild, and it's in full, almost. So it's a lovely run to experience that, you know, the water beside me. I went for a good long one last night, surprised myself. There's something I think about the scenery. It's so lovely, you know. It was kind of at sunset yesterday evening that I went out, and I was just going to do a quick loop on the road that my mum walks on, actually, which she does a walk every morning, and a big part of it, you're facing the sea, and there's lovely light on the sea this time of year. Well, all times of year, but in the morning it's lovely. Anyway, I set off on that walk, and then I ended up going I was running, like, and I set off and ended up going a lot further than I had planned. I went down a different road and ran along by the sea, and then I went. It was kind of nice planning it as I was running, thinking, well, I could go there, and I ended up on the beach then. And there's an exit of the beach that, when the tide is out far enough, you can get out and come home that way. So that's what I did. The sand slip. It's the place where we used to have to stand and slow the cars down when we were bringing the cows home to be milked when we were children. Because I remember it, because the sand slip was bags not going to the sand slip. People used to shout that if they were watching telly or something. And if you weren't quick enough, you'd be the one having to do it. But it's beautiful. And yeah, I had a really lovely, enjoyable run around. It's grand. Like, I think it's a bit like walking when you find your rhythm. And mine is slow, but it's lovely. Like, I can kind of think about all the things I need to think about, but in a very rhythmical way. It's not, nothing is overwhelming when you're out. It's quite nice. So I'm kind of encouraging myself to keep it up now. Just 1 or 2 short runs a day is kind of great exercise, really, for the old thyroid thing. I wanted to kind of make sure that I kept some fairly vigorous exercise going. I heard that's quite good for your thyroid. But what was I going to say? But yeah, it's really easy because you can go from the house, and there's no equipment needed or anything. Like, you can just decide and off you go. So I might do that this morning, depending on what the story is with my sister and her children, if they're coming soon or later on. So this is the leaf of the that lovely purple periwinkle. And the flower is shooting out here. I don't know if I've got a purple that'll justify it. I'm not really happy with the yellow of that leaf either. It's lovely and bright there. So see if I can find a purple. This little flower landed in my blue. See it there? That was what I was doing yesterday. No, how can I make a purple? I've got quinacridine magenta, and I think if I mix that, so this is the quinacridine magenta there, and if I mix that with ultramarine blue, I think I'll get a purpley colour that might work. I think that's quite good for the periwinkle flower. It might even be a bit more ultramarine than purple, so I can put a bit more of the blue into it, I think. Especially this petal anyway, it's quite dark. And then this one, it's just unfolding really. I know I'm a bit unprofessional today and this week because I didn't bring my microphone and I didn't bring my stand, so I'm not able to really, I suppose, do very good videos. But I'm just wanting to kind of keep up the consistency of doing something in the morning that I record. And it means it's maybe not going to be ideal, I feel like I want to leave that alone for a while, and maybe go to the leaves of the beautiful red plant behind. I just noticed. I want to leave the periwinkle to dry for a while before I do any more to it. And so I've mixed in some cadmium red into the colour that I was using for the periwinkle in order to make this, I don't know, is it called a dog leaf or something? I'm not sure, but it's a lovely luscious red. And any colour at this time of year I think is really exciting in the garden. There's a lovely bush of it, whatever it is. In my mum's garden here. I put a bit more alizarin crimson into that now because I think it needs to have a bit more colour injected. It meets the green, it's overlapped by the green leaves there. shooting off in a few directions. It's a bit more muted here because it's the underside of it. And you know, these are different colours. These ones, this one's a bit more kind of coppery. Again, it's the underside. And this one here has got a bright green stem on it. I'll just use the crayon for that. And for the rest of the leaf sitting in front of it there. Yeah, the green crayon is kind of good because it's a different texture to describe the brightness of the leaves. And maybe even a bit of yellow crayon would explain the bright leaves of the periwinkle a little bit more clearly too. And I could maybe put you here. I suppose you'd see a bit better there, but I'd be bouncing around myself. Unless I put something sitting in front of me to hold you there. And just try it for the last couple of minutes. You might be seasick. This is a blue pencil, which might be kind of a nice way of delineating the periwinkle. And I'll put a bit of yellow crayon on that leaf, I think. Looking for pink. It's going to be bright. I'm looking for a bright pink. I'll show you this. Just to give a bit more colour to our, I don't know what this is. Is it carnation maybe? There's very little colour coming off this or whatever it is. And I think this is the same as the one I had before, yeah. But I could always use a bit of, why don't I use some of that quinacridine? That's kind of satisfying. Even if it's not exactly the colour, it's not bad. You can see it's a little bit more in shade on this side. I'll hold it up a bit. But I don't know if you can see the flower, actually, you probably can't. Yeah, so it's kind of a nice combination using the crayon and the watercolour together. There's a different texture with all those tiny little petals there. Into the smoother texture out here. Okay, and I might just do another little run of some colour over the periwinkle so that it reads as one flower. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right. So that's this morning's efforts. I don't know what you can see through the lens here because I'm going the other way. But hopefully you get to see something of what I did. Whoa. Okay, bye.